въпреки че вече проговорва и български. Благодарим ви. Само секунда, докато заредим презентацията. In the meantime, you can present yourself.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Tommy. In previous life, I was community journalist for over 15 years, and I'm founder of one of the most successful local news media back in Croatia. In this life, I am startup entrepreneur. We're funded by 11 Accelerator Fund here in Sofia, where I reside for last year. And my team is developing solution which could actually turn user-generated content into user-provided content, which is one of the themes of this conference. I'll talk about the bold idea, how to change the way information flow in the journalism, or how to change user-generated content, not to look for it, but to come to us. First, we'll start a bit about history or theory of journalism. So we're living in a time in journalism with paradigm in publishing and business model has changed totally. So back in 30s we had radio, which should change everything and destroy the newspapers, but it didn't. In 60s we had expansion of the TV, which was destroy radio and newspapers, but it didn't. We had a satellite, but the change really came with the internet in 1993, which enabled people to access to information for free worldwide. And this is the thing that news media industry didn't know how to cope with in the start. The another thing that occurred, which also changed dramatically, was the year 2K or 2005 with the rise of social media, which gave people ability to share information, not just to access information, but to share information and have the power to do public informing, which was actually the job of news media companies. Yeah, okay. The microphone is going quicker. At this point, the innovation in news media industry is really weak. The problem of innovation in news media industry is because we have monopoly of big companies investing in innovation, and all the rest of the people of the news media companies cannot access it. It's monopoly of those who have the money to invest in innovation. Today, we have platforms rising every day, every kind of the platform, and what we do in news media industry is actually we are chasing and hunting all those platforms, not able how to cope with it. I was trying to find the picture how to globally show what news media industry is dealing with now, and actually this would be the real picture. We are trying to go up the burning rope, not able to find the ways how to deal with innovation, new platforms, with social media, with Snapchat, with Instagram. We are just dealing, going out there, instead of evaluating our own communities we have. We missed two trends, and this is why we are behind all other sectors which are going really forward, fast forward into today's economy. The real new trend, which is quite interesting to me, and it's not about the economy, it's about the consumer psychology, is the sharing economy, which learned people not only to share information, not only to use the internet, but to share, collaborate, work with each other. And if you see on this slide, which I borrowed, by the way, you can see really many words that are really the core of news media industry and public informing, because we do what we do, we inform our communities, we serve to our communities. I'll try to show you how this consumer psychology can be implied in this time to trends, and how can we take advantage and jump on this train to be on the wave. So let's see the first, what's the role of the journalism? The role of the journalism, the role of any news media, is to inform public on events and key issues that affects people's everyday life. The thing about this is people used to share information do not perceive journalists anymore as valuable contributors, because people have power to inform public. People do not know, and I can talk from my own experience, being a local journalist for over 15 years, I talk with a lot of people. People do not know the simplest thing in journalism. We know, and it's to inform public, we have to be informed first. We are not making up the news. We are not publishing what we think it should be a news. We are just transmitting. We are just acting like this megaphone. We are serving our community, using our power to reach the maximum number of people in the community. The problem that social media gave to the news media industry is that false feeling that people can publish. And what we are dealing with now is actually paradox that we are going away from our readers, from our audience, because people, they know things because they're accessing different social group fan pages, different timelines, and they can be targetedly informed on anything they want, which is in their interest. And they can also do the publishing, although only 4% of their friends can see it, but from their own perspective, they think they do the public informing. What we do, we saw today, we are hunting all those news like predators or vultures, and we are trying to figure out what our audience wants to read about to satisfy their need. And then we really do public informing, because we have 1,000, 5,000, 100,000, 1 million readers per day, and we have that community which we can reach to. Now, this is a theory, but this is the simple solution. What if we put the people who know or think in collaboration with us to provide us with information, so we know and we can do together public informing, so he, again, and others can share that around. Sharing is today, I saw somewhere, some of the news sites have over 75% clicks from the Facebook and from the Twitter. Sharing is huge. So why don't we use him in the process of creating the news, together collaborate, and make him first promoter. The another paradox of 2015, and we have social media for over 10 years, and we have internet for over 22 years, that we are still onboarding our readers at the moment we point on the click publish in our CMS. Not before. So through all the process, we are still building the wall and trying to present information like we are some gatekeepers. Although there's a social media, internet, all the ways of communication, we still act in old way. So imagine this. What if we can onboard them much before and try to help them reach public timeline in collaboration with us and make them starters in sharing our content? Because by involving people with their interests, you're going into their social groups right away, because they will promote it to their social groups, and they know what the social groups they belong to, they want. Every person is part of a big number of social groups. I'm a father, I play football, I like journalism, and I get informed about that. And if I have something to share, I'll share it directly to that social group. This is targeting. So unlike clickbites we had for over 10 years, which is gone, advertisers now look for the segmented audience. Now, if you watch this spread between sharing here and sharing here, this one, this is difference that is called quality, ethics, if we do it in collaboration, because what we do is not giving them only power to perform on public informing, but to do fact-checking, validating, and then, again, putting him in the share. This is revenues for the news business model, because this difference makes segmentation and targeting different social groups. So how can we come to that? I'll talk a bit about local perspective. What I was talking here is possible on a place where people have the highest incentive. And the highest incentive for the people to start providing information to the journalist is local. In 15 years, I had great number of examples how people get tied to their communities and how people are emotional about. Every parent of every of those kids will never watch final of the World Cup. He will always watch his kid playing at the same time. This is his World Cup final. There's no plane crash in Sinai or everywhere else that can cause anxiety in the city, like car crash and hearing the sirens in a small city, because someone you love, you know, is out there, and you get, I missed the word, you get concerned that someone is getting hurt, and you need information. Now, car crash information on a local level is not about what we call in Croatia yellow pages or something like black chronicles. It's about informing the rest of community that it's red car and not your blue, that the crash is not with dead persons, it's just with light, severe person, or hopefully without a hurt person, etc. It really has impact on community. Now, when I said we had really good business model, it's ironical how native advertising or promoting through the PR sponsored articles can have impact. Imagine this. So what actually informing on release of new iPhone is on the world level. The same thing is informing people on discount in your neighborhood, because it's had direct impact to your budget. And those kind of information were actually shared a lot, because for the same amount of money, you can buy more t-shirts, if you know about discount, or for same kind of number of t-shirts, you can save money. It has direct impact on your budget. We're looking at local as the biggest and most easiest entry point for people starting to provide generated content, not only to the public timeline, but to put those small bits we need as a journalist to make information, to make news, not to hunt them, but to optimize our time and select from all those valuable information what is best for the community. And hopefully, at this time, the thing we are promoting started to develop. There are, one more thing. Again, from experience. There is no need for quality content on that local level. People, this is a picture from some newspaper taken by someone. But there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 20 people, and they love to see themselves published. And they don't care if there was Canon, I don't know what, because they get used, because they use mobile phones, they use photo cameras that are not special, and they just love to see the pictures, and they love to see the content, the text provided with some pictorial or video content. So quality doesn't matter. On local level, content is over the quality. What I talked about, actually turning user-generated content on, taking the part of user-generated content flowing to us, not reaching to us, is actually happening. One of the projects that has a real good impact in USA lately is HereCan. I can describe it as something like people giving ideas and voting for the best ideas, so journalists can be informed on what people want to be informed. Our company released 2 days ago something called Report News, and thanks to Alexander from Pixel Media, we were testing it 2 days ago, and it's alive. It's actually social-like contact form, because we are looking at psychology of the users, and if you put something like Facebook-like button to the bottom of the article, it's call to action, and it's call that we are open for receiving your suggestions, ideas, and news, etc. Our main product, and this is why we are here in Sofia, is actually we're developing quite unique mobile platform which will enable any news media in the company to use audience, to activate and use audience as collaborators, reporters on sites, and informers, and make mutual benefit both for society and for the journalist. We're developing platform which will have mobile app for the users, for the citizens, for which people can send textual information, photo and video directly to your emails. And for you, for the journalist, we have admin, for which you can communicate back to them, verify the photos, because we are taking the data from the photo. They cannot scam you. Something is taken today, and picture is 3 days old. We take a geolocation tool to verify from where is it taken. And the best thing is we enable communication channel. We enabled news media companies or journalists to send back push notification, yeah, thank you, great, send me more, and have direct communication, and break the wall of people not know how to address to the journalist, how journalists react when you address to them. Will you make you fool of yourself? Will they think that you're trying to take advantage of something by giving in some information for your own benefit or something like that? These days, we are also starting with prototype testing in Montenegro and Croatia. We're quite excited to see the first results. My call to action here now is whoever is interested in something like this, go to www.colombia.net and just sign up for future beta access. We will have the newsletter, and we will send you also the first reports on that. What we are actually building, what we are actually trying to do is bypass the monopoly of big companies who have the money for innovations, but they use it for themselves to do competitive advantage. And we saw it many times before. And we are trying to do something that will be used by hyperlocals in New Zealand, locals in Argentina and Bangladesh, and big one in Canada, if you want, as an open source. And we need to involve, by doing this, we will educate media that we can educate our readers, our audience, to start participating, so we don't have to hunt for the user-generated content, but the biggest part to come to us as user-provided content. Thank you. Questions? Може и на български. Разбира мало.
Имате ли въпроси?
Да.
На български ли?
English, please.
Okay. So as I understood it, it's a kind of symbiosis between social media and news media. Is that, yeah? But do you have a set of rules or guide or something that helps you make sure that what you publish is actual news, genuine news, and not just people taking selfies of themselves or something like that?
Yeah, so what we will show this week, starting, is news media companies will first promote and explain what they need. Different news media companies will use it for different cases. People, most probably, will start with spamming, just to test it. We have creation tool and report tool, we can block guys, but what we created is predefined button. So journalists, if you send the selfie, but you do the communication, journalists can make predefined buttons saying, thank you, but we do not take this, but please send us because we are here for you. And I promise you, next time you see something interesting, you will be having in your head that they're open for good news. We can do the education quite easy.
Thank you. Any other questions? We think it's a very interesting approach because it involves the eyewitnesses and not kind of stealing information from them, but encouraging them to actually participate with their own approval. So we wish you good luck. Сега ще премина на български.
Благодаря.
Yes.